All right, let's just jump right into this. Today, we're doing a deep dive explainer on Pondy Oxides and Chemicals Ltd, usually just called POCL. This is a genuinely fascinating company because it sits right dead center at the intersection of old-school heavy industry and the modern circular economy. If you're at all curious about how literal waste is being monetized on a massive scale in India right now, you are definitely in the right place. So I want to start by looking at this one specific number, 113%. That is POCL's year-over-year profit after tax growth for the full year of FY26. I mean, think about that. When a heavy, capital-intensive industrial company literally more than doubles its profit in a single year, you kind of have to stop what you're doing and pay attention, right? Here's the game plan for today's explainer. We're going to unpack the macro environment driving this boom, tear down POCL's actual business model, look at the hard financials behind their market breakout, weigh the bull and bear cases objectively, and then wrap up with an intelligent verdict. First up, Section 1, the circular economy boom. Let's see how a historically dirty business is turning into an ESG goldmine. Seriously, take a second and think about this. India generates absolutely massive volumes of lead-acid battery scrap. We are talking about millions upon millions of dead batteries. From cars, heavy UPS backup systems, all those thousands of telecom towers dotted across the country. It really begs the question, where on earth does it all go? Historically, well, a lot of it was handled pretty unsafely or just inefficiently. But that entire landscape has completely shifted. And that brings us to the circular economy. This is basically an economic model that is entirely focused on eliminating waste by reusing, recycling, and recovering materials. So instead of digging a hole and mining new lead, you take those dead batteries and process them right back into refined industrial metals. POCL is positioned perfectly to benefit from this. They are actively writing some massive government tailwinds right now, especially India's incredibly strict battery waste management rules and extended producer responsibility policies, which basically mandate this kind of recycling. All right, moving to Section 2, inside POCL's business model. Let's look under the hood. So based down in Chennai, POCL has completely evolved. They're no longer just some small-scale local scrapyard. They've built themselves into a highly organized, prominent player in non-ferrous metals and specialty chemicals. They're effectively the bridge between all that raw scrap generation and massive industrial demand. And they've turned this into a highly repeatable profit engine based on 4 main steps. Step 1, scrap procurement, getting those dead batteries in the door. Step 2 is safely recycling them. Step 3, extracting the actual refined metals. And finally, Step 4, which is key, manufacturing value-added products. Things like pure lead, antimonial lead, and calcium alloys. They aren't just flipping raw scrap, they are refining it into highly specific products that major industries desperately need to buy. If we break down where their money actually comes from, it's pretty eye-opening. Now, they are smartly expanding into some new high-growth segments like recycled plastics and copper, which is about 5% of the mix right now. And specialty chemicals like litharge and red lead make up another 12%. But make no mistake, their absolute bread and butter is lead recycling and alloys. That accounts for over 80% of their revenue structure. They know exactly what they're good at, and they are scaling it hard. Let's jump to Section 3, financials and market breakout. Time to look at the actual data. Okay, looking at their verified March 2026 quarterly results, the numbers are just exceptional. There was a massive 125% year-over-year jump in net profit, hitting 37.5 crore rupees for the quarter. And that didn't just happen by magic. It was driven by a 78.58% surge in top-line sales, hitting 935 crores in just a 3-month period. That is the direct result of their new production capacity and operational utilization coming online at literally the perfect time. But, explosive growth usually comes with dangerous amounts of leverage, right? Well, actually, scratch that here. Look at their debt-to-equity ratio. It is sitting at just 0.19. Despite all these aggressive, capital-heavy capacity expansions they're doing for their Target 2030 plan, management has kept the balance sheet incredibly conservative. They're funding this growth intelligently, not recklessly. Zooming out to the full FY26, we're looking at top-line revenue scaling up to 2,939 crore rupees. That's a 45% increase year over year.
And what's really crucial to understand here is that this isn't just a domestic Indian story. This growth is heavily supported by booming export demand. Global industries are scrambling for reliable, ESG-compliant recycled metals, and POCL is just gobbling up that international market share.
Also, for anyone tracking the internals, the shareholding pattern is definitely worth noting. The company's promoters still hold nearly 40% of the business, 39.34% as of March 2026, to be exact. And that's been rock solid over the past year. When the people actually running the show keep that much skin in the game during a massive growth phase, it's usually a pretty strong signal of internal confidence.
Which brings us to Section 4, Bulls versus Bears. Let's weigh the risks. Look, no explainer is complete without looking at both sides, because there is absolutely no such thing as a risk-free stock. The bull case here is super compelling. You've got massive ESG tailwinds, ridiculous earnings momentum, and the potential for a major small-cap re-rating. But the bears make some very valid points. This is still a cyclical, commodity-linked business. Metal businesses run on tight margins. POCL's EBITDA margin sits around 7%. But the biggest bear argument? The existential threat of lithium-ion batteries eventually displacing the traditional lead-acid batteries that feed POCL's entire core recycling engine.
Now, pivoting to the technicals for May 2026, the stock has shown a classic cup and handle breakout right near that 1,300 rupees level. You've got high relative strength compared to the broader market, plus really clear signs of institutional accumulation volume. But a quick warning for the chart readers out there, with the 52-week high sitting at 1619 rupees, sharp profit booking or commodity stock corrections are always a real possibility, if earnings even slightly miss the mark. Finally, Section 5, the intelligent verdict. Let's pull all this together.
I'm not here to just yell buy or sell at you. Instead, I want to give you an actual framework. If you are tracking this company, here is your watch list. First, monitor global lead prices. Since they're a recycler, those prices directly impact their top-line revenue. You do not want to get caught blindly in a commodity down cycle. Second, watch those quarterly EBITDA margins. At around 7%, you need to verify they can actually stay profitable in a structurally low-margin sector. And third, debt levels. It's at 0.19 now, but you have to make sure they don't over-leverage to fund that target 2030 expansion.
So it really all comes down to this one question. As India's massive push for waste management accelerates, POCL is undeniably in the exact right place at the exact right time. But can their explosive short-term execution actually outrun the massive long-term global shift toward lithium-ion battery technology? Are we looking at a future titan of the circular economy, or is this just another cyclical metal trap? Take these facts, check your own watch list, and decide for yourself. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.